Hey everyone, welcome back to Gundam Build Guide, and we have a shit ton to go over this week. Now this might be one of my biggest videos in a while because I was originally going to do this as 2 videos, but I didn't have time, so here's just one big ass video. Also, I'm going to add some topic bars because I'm going to go over a lot of topics. First things first, this weekend, the Gundam Expo came to Kunio bookstores in any city with a large enough population of Japanese people to sustain a Kunio bookstore. Now, I wasn't planning on going, but I had nothing to better do this weekend, so I ended up going. Now, the bookstore had a table set up in the middle of it with a bunch of hot new Gunpla models, the entire Batlog release series, and aside from that, a bunch of weird other Gundam kits, like, just kind of all over the place. Like, there was a 20-year-old HGUC Char Zaku and Char Zagak, and the better but more recent-ish, but also still 10 years old, real grade Char Zaku. Most interestingly to me, there was a brand friggin' new straight from Japan HG Getter Robo Arc and an extremely rare HG Psybuster. Now, despite all that, I actually didn't buy any models because I rarely buy Gunpla anymore because I live in a tiny as fuck New York City apartment and I really don't have space to put them anywhere. Instead though, something even more shocking to me at this Gundam Expo was, check this out. It's an entire rack full of Japanese certified Gunpla making tools, including brand new Gundam markers, varieties of nippers, a leather belt holster for your nippers, in case you're some kind of nipper cowboy, and the crown jewel of all this, a Gundam airbrush. I've always wanted a Gundam airbrush because back in the day it used to cost like $200 to like import one for Japan, and there were like 4 of them here and they were selling them for like $40 each. Needless to say, with all these choices, I bought the airbrush and some markers. Especially since when I blinked, suddenly there were only 3 of them left instead of 4. Now, aside from that, quickly going everything else I care about, there's not a lot of time this week and I don't got time for anything. IBO is 5 years old, happy birthday IBO. There might be another Gundam 00 anime coming out, but it seems like it's going to be a Gundam Evolve style CGI mobile suit promo video. Look into Gundam Evolve if you don't know that. Long story short, they're probably only going to be like 5-minute long, like promo videos. Gundam Hathaway and the 1-1 Walking Gundam in Yokohama won a bunch of awards at the Japanese Media Arts Festival. And lastly, the final 2 G-No Reconquista compilation movies are going to come out back-to-back this summer. So that'll be the end of that. No more G-No Reconquista. I hope. I think. Who knows? Alright, now that that is all covered, we need to talk about Gundam Breaker Mobile, where all hell has broken loose this week. Alright, so before I even get to what happened this week, over the weekend, a brand new Gomuro and Naosuke challenge mission called the Challenge of Gorgeous video dropped. Now these guys are professional Japanese troll players, and they've come up with the most evil mission that they have ever come up with in history. Now they've done some evil things in the past, but this is literally the worst official thing they've ever come up with. Now they've basically come up with a stage where you have no chance of winning unless you build 3 hyper-specific builds to take down their crew. Now, Reddit, Discord, a bunch of people have got together, and we've put together some vague, official-ish, established strategies for taking them down. Long story short, you need to build 3 Gunplas to make a team of all extremely fast Gunpla, all using 7-star parts, and they need to have specific roles of debuffer, buffer, and lastly, an anti-debuffer. Now, the anti-debuffer is kind of a contention point. I've been using an anti-debuffer build and I have not been winning. I'm starting to think maybe instead of using an anti-debuffer, I should use a shooter again. Anyway, you do need an anti-debuffer using the GN feathers, but I'm not sure if that should be its own thing or if it should be tied into one of the buffing units. Anyway, so I took a few hours to construct some brand new, super awesome, cool builds around these parameters, including the debuff, Def Scythe, the Blue Astray buffer, and lastly, the O Gundam G3 as a shot anti-debuffer. Unfortunately, I don't know, even though I built these builds, they didn't work out. My guess is the main thing holding me back was stats. Of these 3 suits, only the OG3 had stats of above 3 million, and I feel like you need stats of above 3 million to survive against these attacks. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what my gut is telling me. Now, disgustingly, I don't have enough 7-star parts because I haven't been taking 7-star parts seriously up till now. So this weekend I've been in a spot where I've just been kind of rushing together as many 7-star builds as fast as possible. But I can't quite do that because even if I do rush together a 7-star part build, I don't have the marks to fully unlock the full power of the 7-star marks. And therefore, they're not actually more powerful than the Reddit out 6-star marks that I've taken care of for like the past 5 years. Now, I've tried a few variations on my team to make my team faster, stronger, tougher. But in the end, Gunpla Warfare is quite frankly a stats game. And I'm on the edge of just not having enough stats to break through this fucking stage. Fuck this stage, I'm so fucking mad. I spent the whole fucking day powering up my Samurai Gundam to try and make it hold its own in terms of speed and power. And even one time I managed to luck into a perfect run, and even still things just did not work out. So I'm thinking I might try shifting up my strategy a little bit more and try to use a shooter instead of an anti-debuffer and just put my GN feathers on one of the buffer units. You know, mix up what I built. Either way, I'm just stuck in a wall, and I think I'm going to be stuck until my 2 melee units are above 3 million in terms of stats. Alright, so that's all the drama with the Gomuro Ray mission. Now, aside from that, there's some new banners this week. One is for the shockingly cool Wing Zero Milliorder Peacecraft Custom. I'm guessing that's got to be another Frozen Teardrop suit. Surprisingly, it's a very melee-centric Wing Zero. It has a big old lance instead of a big old gun. And on the other end of the aisle is the Phenex custom from the G no Reconquista Expo special video. Although in that video I thought it was black. Here it's more of a chrome gray. Either way, that's also a melee unit, and both of these suits are pretty fucking damn sick. Making things all the more better is there's an infinite Sokai to get both of them. I did an outrageous 9 pulls on the double Sokai, and I got a good number of parts for both suits. Also this week, there's a brand new Amuro Ray in his CCA Londo Bell outfit. This seems to be a cooldown-focused Amuro, and I'm going to say it's kind of worth it. Especially if you have been farming the Cavacali from week to week. So yeah, if you want to waste a bunch of money, go all in on the double Sokai banners, and then get that new Amuro. The charity unit this week is kind of weird, kind of not the best. It's Morgiana from Build Divers in the VALKYLANDER form. Now, it's a little weird to see a melee SD unit, but it's trying its best. It's a very quirky unit. It's not the worst unit I've ever seen, but it is definitely a little bit on the slow side. All the same, it did win its battle, so I guess it's valid in that way. And lastly, the Big Zam is back, but once again it's faded into its own weaknesses, and you can blow it up with minimal effort. So that's build guide for the week, and I'm just still stewing in my juices, trying to get my stats high enough to deal with the gorgeous video challenge. Right now, I can sometimes kill a couple of dudes, but I can only survive for a couple of seconds until they get me, so I do think my stats are too low to make me get through this. I may or may not do another stream where I just throw myself at it for a few more runs and try to pump myself up. Stay tuned. It's actually a pretty good week to do that since horror chips are on sale. By the way, it came up in the stream today that some of you guys actually want to give me money for nothing. That's super cool of you guys. Thank you. Currently, since I don't have 1,000 subscribers, we can't do super chats on my stream yet. So in lieu of that, I have a Patreon, which I have not used in a while. I'm going to include a link to it in the description of the video. Feel free to put any donations there. Maybe I'll think about doing more with it in the future, because up till now, literally no one has ever given me money for anything. Alright, later guys. It's been cool. Peace out.